effective leadership and development strategist, a transformational speaker, and a social innovator. He helps individuals and corporations, organizations to become better and then to achieve results. So today we're discussing on vision, the light of purpose. So over to you, sir.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Dave, for the fantastic introduction. Thank you for everything you do with Alpha Global Leadership Academy. And it's really an honor for me to be on this platform to discuss this very crucial topic, vision, the light of purpose. Is really fantastic. And I think that this topic is very important for emerging leaders. In fact, anybody at all, because
Yes,
there comes a point in your life where you think things are not working anymore. There's a crossroad, obstacles are here and there. It's only vision that can help you to triumph. When you keep your eyes on the big picture, I mean, it's like create a sense of urgency for you, and then you have no other option than to keep moving.
yes,
So it's
yes.
a brilliant topic. Yeah. So first of all, I would like everybody who is listening to understand that the ability to see beyond just your eyes, right? The ability to see just beyond your eyes is one of the vital functions, one of the vital characteristics God put in man. No other creature of God has that ability, I mean, to imagine, to creatively think, right? It's only human beings that has that creative ability to imagine right from the heart. Okay, so if you close your eyes right now, you can even imagine yourself flying on a white horse. Anything you can imagine, anything you can imagine in your heart, it just comes, right? So you can even close your eyes and imagine yourself in the White House, in Aso Rock, anywhere. It's a unique ability, put in us by God because of the great things He wants us to achieve with that ability. So it's a unique ability, and I want you to really understand that. So vision, it's what lightens your purpose, it's what fills your purpose. All right. So without wasting much of your time, I would love to demystify these two concepts, vision and purpose. What is purpose? Purpose is simply the reason why something was made. Purpose is simply the reason why something is done. So purpose answers the question why. Anytime you ask somebody why, you are asking for the purpose. Why did you go out? Right? Why did you do this thing?
Okay.
It's just an answer to the question why. Purpose is very important. And I believe that everybody who is alive today is actually alive for a purpose. I used to tell people that God is not a waster of resources. He doesn't waste resources. He doesn't waste resources. He creates people with an intention, right? There's something He wants you to achieve. That is why you are here. That is why you are alive. That is why you're still breathing. All right. So, there was a time I was asking myself, how come there are 7.2 billion people on earth, yet people still keep multiplying? People, women are conceiving and giving birth, but it dawned on me that these people are here for a reason. There's something, Dave, you have to do in this world that no other person can do it except you. Except you. No other person. If David doesn't do it, I cannot do it. So it shows you that you are here not by accident. You weren't born as an experiment, right? You weren't born to be used as an experiment in the lab. No, you're created for a unique purpose. So that is what purpose is about. The reason why something was made, the reason why you're created, the reason why something is done, right? The glasses I'm putting on was made for a reason, and is to help me to see better, to help me to see well. Some people can even wear it for fashion, like I'm doing now, right? So that's the intention, to make me appear better, There's a reason. Now, if these glasses fails to achieve this reason, the manufacturer becomes angry. The aim of making these glasses will be defeated. The chair I'm sitting on currently, if it doesn't carry me, it has defeated the aim, right? So you are created for a reason. If a bird doesn't fly, there's no need calling it a bird, because we know birds to fly. That's their purpose. All right. So you were created for a reason. Now, let's go to something much more important, which is purpose, and that's why we're all here. Purpose is now, vision is now a mental picture of the future you desire. A mental picture of the future you desire. Remember that you were created for a reason. Remember that you were created for a purpose. There's something you are pursuing. And I would like to say this, that, God himself puts a body on the inside of everyone. Maybe you've not discovered that body, but that doesn't make it not to exist. There's always something you're yearning for. There's something you want to change. There's something you want to birth. There's an idea in your mind you want to bring to fruition, right? So he put it there by himself, so that you will live with an intention, right? Maybe you are somebody, you don't like the way girls are treated in this part of the world. That could be something that you're craving for. That could be something you're yearning for. You want to change the status quo. You want to change the narrative. Maybe you're somebody who wants to give people access to quality education, and all you think is about creating platforms where people can learn, right? That's your wake-up thoughts, that's your sleeping thoughts, that's everything on your mind. You didn't put it there by yourself. The creator did that. All right, so that you can live with an intention, right? So it's very important. Now, that's purpose. Vision is seeing a mental picture of the future you desire. In fact, sometimes I used to define vision as the ability to predict the future from your mind, to see the end from the beginning. I mean, you're here, but you can see the end. That's a unique ability, and it's very, very important. So vision is like a fuel that will help you to reach your purpose. Vision is like a fuel that will help you to reach your purpose. Now, I'll tell you a story of the biblical Joseph. Remember that he had a vision when he was 17 years old. He saw that the sheaves of his brother were bowing to his own sheaves, even though he didn't understand what all that meant. He another time he dreamt of when the sun, the moon, and stars were bowing to him. He didn't get it at that time, right? The purpose of Joseph was to deliver Israelites as at then, but he didn't understand, right? That was the vision to his purpose as a deliverer. His vision was somebody placed at the top, but his current reality was just a young boy somewhere, right? So he didn't get it until things started to unfold, and we saw that he was thrown in a pit, from the pit to Potiphar's house, to the prison, and then boom, to the palace. That height he saw 17 years back, where the sun, the moon, and stars bowed at him, happened in reality. So his brothers came, his parents, they came, this time not as that small boy, but the prime minister of Egypt. Okay, so vision is actually the fuel of every purpose. If you're purposeful, the next thing to do is to craft a big picture where you want to go to, where you want to reach, the height you want to attain. Okay, so this is very important. So I don't know what your current reality is, I don't know what your current situation is, but you must have a big picture. Okay, you must have where you are always envisaging in your mind. That is what will keep your purpose alive. If not, you're going to be frustrated. If not, you're going to think that things are not working the way they should. But if you're visionary, right, that is the fuel that will help you to reach your destination. This is so important. This is so important. Vision is a light of your purpose. Okay, so your body may be deteriorating, things may not be working out, but if your vision is alive, you will definitely get there. Remember the vision of Nelson Mandela, one of the greatest leaders we've ever had in the continent of Africa. He was in prison for 27 years. His body was, deteriorating, but his vision was alive. What happened? The vision materialized. I mean, it materialized in the future. Okay, so your vision is very important. If you can see the big picture, if your eyes are continually fixed on the big picture, you will definitely become purposeful. You will definitely, live a life that is worthy of emulation. Okay, this is so important. All right, so I'm going to share a little story of vision and how it works and how it places you at the top and how it positions you for greatness. Now, as at 1971, if you graduated from any university in Nigeria, I mean, you didn't need to write GMAT, QMAT, STAT, none of this. Cambridge, Harvard, Yale, because as at then they were considered at par, they were considered equal, right? As at 1971, the 1 naira exchanged for $1.33. $1.33. Okay, so if I needed 1,000 naira, apparently you would bring $1,000, 33 cents. That's actually what it meant, but 30 years later, 40 years later, what happened? Let's even talk about 2020. What is happening? How much is the naira equal to the dollar? When you lack vision, when you lack vision, okay, it displaces you, it pulls you down, it destroys everything about you. Okay, so as at this 1971, a nation called Dubai was synonymous to a desert. I mean, nobody could, feel fantastic whenever you say, I'm going to Dubai. Nobody wanted to go because at 1971, it was synonymous to a desert. Synonymous to a desert. Nobody was interested in going. But in 2020 and beyond, everybody now wants to go to Dubai. Everybody now wants to go there to shop. Everybody now wants to go there, for vacation, right? So that's what vision can do. That's the power of vision. That's the power of vision. Though this is a desert, though this may appear not to be fascinating to the public, to people, but we know where we are going to, right? We know where we are going to. We know where we are going to. We know where we are headed. That's the power of vision. Okay. So if you're visionary, you will go to amazing heights. You're going to achieve amazing height, tremendous height. Okay. So I don't know what you're doing currently. I don't know what situation you are into currently, but I want you to craft a vision for yourself. I want you to craft a vision for yourself. You may be a student, right? Currently in school. What vision do you have? All right. What vision do you have for yourself? What vision do you have for your academics? All right. So what kind of grade do you want to graduate with? What kind of graduate do you want to be? All of these questions you need to ask yourself if you really want to achieve success, if you really want to achieve something fantastic. You have to ask yourself these questions. What kind of student do I want to be? What kind of grade do I want to graduate with? Okay, what kind of grade do I want to graduate with? of result do I want to present to the world? All right. So if you are a student, here are some
Exactly.
hacks you need to take advantage of, especially if you're a student here in Nigeria uh, and Africa. Okay. So what you're learning currently is not all that it is to learn. I mean, there's a whole lot. Knowledge is like an ocean. Knowledge is inexhaustible. Inexhaustible rather. You cannot exhaust knowledge. Knowledge is inexhaustible. Now, what you need to do is to first of all have an in-depth knowledge of the course you're studying. You need to have an in-depth knowledge of the course you're studying, right? This is very important, okay? Don't just go to school because others are going to school. Don't just go to school because you are being pressured to go to school. You must go to school with a vision. Okay, so if I'm studying medicine, there should be a vision for studying medicine. All right, what kind of doctor do I want to be? Looks like
You can
I
continue,
was
sir. You
saying
can
some. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. So I was saying before network kicked me
try
out that vision is a mental picture of the future you desire. Yeah. So prior to that, I also said that this is one of the attributes of God Himself, the ability to creatively imagine, the ability to creatively see things that are non existent as though they exist. So He put this attribute on the inside of every living creature. So no creature of God has this ability to see, to creatively imagine. The dolphins are intelligent, but they don't have this rare ability. It's only human beings that have this rare ability, to be able to creatively imagine anything. So I was saying that you can even close your eyes now and imagine yourself flying on a white horse. You're not flying on a white horse, but you can close your eyes and imagine that. That is power. That's one of the most powerful attributes of God Himself. Okay, so and He puts these attributes on the inside of every one of us, living creatures, human beings. So you have that rare ability and you are supposed to channel it correctly. All right, that's why we're talking about vision, the light of purpose. Remember that purpose is the reason why a thing was made or the reason why something is existing. So you are alive today because there is something you are living for. There is an intention, an intention that prompted your creation. Yeah, you're not just living as an experiment, you're not just living by accident. There is something. Now, vision is actually the fuel. Vision is actually what will now propel you to that big picture, to that purpose, because the purpose of a thing is to make sure that it gets to the end, the very end of why that thing was made. So, for example, if the seed of a mango doesn't produce tree, a mango tree in the end, that seed is useless because the purpose of that seed is to be able to produce a tree. Okay, so the purpose of a fish is to be able to swim, and all that. So there is something you are living for, and it's only vision that will help you to get to that destination, right? That was why I said that vision is a mental picture. Yeah, the picture is up here. of a desirable future. You want to be part of this fantastic future, right? The picture is there on your mind, but you've already painted a wonderful picture of you 10 years later, 20 years later. A beautiful picture of you, right? But you're not there yet. You're not there yet, but you've already created that picture. That's what vision is about. Seeing the end from the beginning, predicting the future from your mind. So you can actually picture yourself sitting at the president's chair, sitting on that chair at Aso Rock. But you are in Oshodi currently, you are in Apapa currently, you are in Abuja currently. You're not at Aso Rock, but you see yourself sitting on that chair at Aso Rock. That's vision, right? Seeing the future from your mind, predicting the future from your mind, creating a mental picture of the future you desire from your mind. So vision is so important, and it will help you to pursue your purpose, to pursue the reason why you are alive. All right. So I said, I gave example with the biblical Joseph. Remember his dream when the sheaves of his brothers were bowing to his own sheaves, when the sun, the moon, and the stars were bowing to him, and then he didn't even understand this. He didn't even understand. When he told his parents, they were asking, what kind of dream is this? What kind of dream that we will all worship you? Are you saying that we will all bow down at your feet? That was his vision, when he was 17 years old. That was his vision. Remember that the biblical Joseph's, purpose was to deliver Israelite. That was his purpose, to be a deliverer, to be a Messiah to Israelites in time to come. But he didn't understand this purpose. So those visions were coming, to prepare him for that purpose. And then what happened. You know the story. You know how that his brothers got envious because of how fantastic his dreams were. How can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Fantastic. So his brothers were envious at his dreams. How can you, a small boy, tell us that we are going to bow down at your feet? They were so envious, they were jealous, and that was what propelled them to sell him off. They sold him off to the Ishmaelite traders. And then the Ishmaelite traders sold him off to Potiphar's house. Okay, remember his purpose was to be a Messiah, to be a deliverer. Now his vision, he saw so many times his sheaves, the brothers' sheaves bowing down at his own sheaves. The sun, moon, and star bowed down at him. He didn't understand all this. From Potiphar's house to the prison. From the prison, he went to the palace. That was where it became clear to him his purpose, right? His brothers were now coming from Israel to buy food in Egypt, okay? And then at a point they bowed down. They didn't know who he was because of the changes. So this time around, he will wear a royal robe. He will be on a chariot. Will have so many bodyguards by his side. So they didn't recognize that this was the Joseph 13 years back. Everything about him had changed. Money was all over. Fame was all over. Popularity, those things that presidents enjoy. That was what Joseph was enjoying. So they didn't recognize him. They didn't believe that this boy that was thrown in a pit will one day become the prime minister. They didn't understand. They bowed down. They had to bow to in fulfillment of the vision he saw. He saw that vision 13 years ago. The sun, moon, and stars bowing down at him. Now it became clear. It became a reality. Okay. So at 17, Joseph saw this vision. Joseph saw this vision in line with his purpose to deliver, to become a Messiah, right? So I know that you have a purpose, there's a burden, there's something you're yearning for, there's something you want to change, there's something you want to transform. Now, vision is the fuel you need, the big picture, right? You need to start seeing, the future, your future you. If not, you're going to get frustrated. If not, the obstacles that comes with living a purposeful life will kick you out. All right. So Joseph had seen this vision of himself. So he didn't allow the temporal situations, the temporal problems to stop him. Okay. So just imagine what Pharaoh said. Pharaoh said, only by this throne am I greater than you. Every other thing, you are in charge. Every other thing, you are in charge. Okay, in fulfillment of that vision. So vision is very important. Okay, so Joseph had seen himself 17 years later as someone placed at the top. Okay, someone placed at the top where people will bow, and it came to reality. All right, so even Jesus did the same thing. His purpose was to deliver men, to redeem men, right? So, but this vision materialized when he was 33 years old. Okay, when he was 33. So at 12, you would see him interacting with the scribes and Pharisees. At 12, he was asking questions, right? Because he knew where he was going. He saw the big picture. I'm here for an important assignment, so I need to get there.
Oh, yeah.
I need to get there. When they wanted to make him a king, he ran away. He fled because that was outside the vision. That was outside the dream, the big picture, right? So vision is so important. It's a fear that will actually drive you to your purpose. Your purpose is your destination. The purpose of an apple seed is to produce an apple tree. The purpose of a mango seed is to produce a mango tree. Everything that will make that mango seed not to produce the mango tree, I believe that mango seed will be pushing them away, pushing them away. The mango seed will want to get water, we want to get air, we want to get moisture to be able to fulfill that big picture. The same thing applies to you. If you don't have vision for where you are going to, there's every possibility that you'll be kicked out. You'll be kicked out. All right. So you need to craft the big picture, and God has given you this unique ability. You can creatively imagine where you want to be in the next 5 years. You can. He has given you that ability, right? So if he said that you are gods, you are like me, created in my image and likeness, and God has the ability to see the end from the beginning. He has put that trait on the inside of every one of us. So vision is a light to your purpose. Vision is a light to your purpose. I want to use David as an example. David runs Alpha Global Leadership Academy, right? Fantastic organization. I believe he has a vision that one day politicians are going to come to the academy to learn. Right? He's going to be training politicians, he's going to be training CEOs, managers, right? It's going to become a name that will be irresistible. So when you talk about a leadership institution, you mention Alpha Global. That is the vision. That's the big picture. I believe he has crafted it on his mind and painted it, right? So, but what he's doing currently is what will now culminate to that big picture. Yeah, so this is very important. Okay, so if your dream, if your purpose is to produce chairs, man, you want to make the best chairs, you want people to buy from you, you want people to use your chairs. Come on now. Your vision is to produce the chairs that vice chancellors will use, governors, presidents will use. That's the vision. The ability to create a picture that you desire, and not just that you desire, that you want to be part of. So you must be able to create a mental picture that you desire, a mental picture that you want to be a part of, right? A future that you want to feature in. Feature, the future you want to feature in. Okay, so there are people who make chairs that akara sellers buy. There are people who make tables for people who sell pap. Come on now. But if you're visionary, you know that that is not your place. Your vision is to be able to have your products in the offices of governors, commissioners, prime ministers, presidents. Come on now. That's the vision. Ability to see, far ahead, far ahead, far ahead, like an eagle. Okay, so it is a light to your purpose. All right, so vision is so important. I would have loved to show you a fantastic picture, but I can't show you now because of the technicality involved. So but now just think of a pap seller, somebody who sells pap. Yorubas call it ogi, right? Here we know it as akamu. It's pap seller, come on now. But you can be visionary about that business and say, I want to package my pap in such a way I can export it, and then people in America will buy it, people in Texas will buy it, people in Japan will buy it. That's vision. You are seeing beyond your current situation, right? You are seeing beyond your locality, your community. You are seeing beyond your village. Okay, so if you're an author, you're not just writing to benefit the lives of the people living in your neighborhood. You're not just writing to benefit the lives of those living around you, not just for your church members, not just for your schoolmates, but for the world. I mean, that's vision. People in China are reading my books. People in America are reading my books, right? People in Australia, people in Singapore, people in France, even though it's in English, they will look for ways to transcribe or translate it to French. That's vision. Is a light to your purpose. So your purpose can be fantastic, your purpose can be great, your purpose can be flourishing. I mean, but if you don't have vision, it won't go far. If you don't have vision, it won't go far. I gave an example of this nation. As of 1971, Dave, if you graduated from any university in Nigeria, you wouldn't write any exam like GMAT, QMAT, like STAT, like TOEFL, because as at that time they were considered equal, right? These schools were considered equal. You just get into schools like Cambridge, Oxford, Yale. As at 1971, that was what made these our leaders to progress. I mean, the likes of Wole Soyinka and their likes, Adamu, Amadou Bello, all of them, they had this rare privilege, all right, because as at that time the academic standard of this country was fantastic. Okay, so but even as at that time, $1 exchanged for £1. They were equal. All right. So if I needed 1,000 naira, you would give me $1,000. But after 40 years, what happened? How much is the naira compared to the dollars now? What is the current situation of our academics, of our education? That is lack of vision. This is what lack of vision causes, you see, because they were not thinking of a desirable future for the next generation. So it's went ablaze, it's vanished. Okay, well, we are only talking about it as history. I used to say something: don't ever dream to become a living history. If you're a living history, I mean, you're still alive, but you're forgotten. You're alive, but you're forgotten. Nobody can use you. They'll use you as an example. Now, okay, I last week I was on a webinar and I said it's great. We know superstars today. Ronaldinho, Okocha, these guys were great, but they're not in the field of play currently. We are celebrating the likes of Ronaldo, Messi. Now, if you want to keep doing something, even if you're gone, you have to be visionary, right? If you want to be celebrated, you have to be part of the people who are making things happen. That is by the way. So another nation as at 1971 was a complete desert. Nobody was aspiring to go there. Nobody was fascinated when you mentioned that country. Even me, I wouldn't love to go there as at that time, because it was completely a desert, dry. But vision, because vision is a picture of the future, because vision is the ability to predict the future with your mind, someone came in, someone with a vision came in and transformed the place, and it became the marvel of the world. And in just 20 years, the whole place changed. And today, if you say, let's go to Dubai, everybody is going to be happy. Hey, let's go to Dubai. Let's go for shopping. Let's go for vacation. Let's go for tourism. 30 years prior, nobody was dreaming to go there. Nobody was dreaming to go there. Nobody was, fascinated to go there. This is vision. If you have vision, you'll be able to create the unimaginable. You bring the picture right from your mind to reality. That was what happened with Dubai. That was what happened with Singapore. Singapore, as at a time, they were coming to Nigeria to pick canals. Currently in Singapore, there's our flag, the flag of Nigeria is there to thank Nigerians for helping them. But Singapore is a first world country currently. If you read this book, From Third World to First World by Lee Kuan Yew, you understand everything I'm saying. If you read this, My Vision by Mohammed bin Rashid, you understand what I'm saying about Dubai and Singapore. That's the power of vision. That's the power of vision. So you can be purposeful, you can have a burden, you can have something you're yearning for, but if you don't have vision, you will be frustrated. You won't go far. Obstacles will kick you out, okay? And I also want you to understand that vision has process. It has process, okay? So you don't just wake up to become a medical doctor, right? To solve the problems in the health industry. You don't just wake up to become a medical doctor. It has processes, okay? So if we're talking about the dynamics of vision, you must understand that there are certain steps you need to take. Currently, Coca-Cola has its content in bottle, it has in plastic rubber, a plastic container or so, and then it has it in can. These are processes. There was no can before. There was no plastic container before. It was all bottle. But, consistency, and continuity bettered the plastic container. They thought out of ways, how can we make people to be convenient, drinking our product without having to go back to the depot to return these bottles. They created the plastic container. They said, we can serve this thing in a better way. They created the can. So vision has process, but one of the dynamics of vision is consistency. If you're not consistent enough, you won't get to that big picture. So step by step, you get to your vision. Okay, step by step, you get to your vision. All right, look at the vision of Joseph once again, prime minister. But he didn't go to that position of the prime minister. There were processes, okay, from the pit to Potiphar's house, where he learned people management. He was the chief domestic staff, managing people, managing finances for Potiphar, right? So he was learning people management. He was learning how to manage finance for his boss. A time came, his boss said something. His boss said the only thing he's concerned with is matters concerning his business. Every other thing, he gave it to Joseph. So that was where Joseph learned people management, learned finance management, before he went to become the prime minister, and he was able to deliver excellently. He managed the finance of Egypt excellently. He was able to birth ideas that accelerated the economy of Egypt. So vision has processes, and part of it is consistency. If you're not consistent, you'll be kicked out. You'll be kicked out, right? So it's very important that we understand this. You can have a fantastic vision, you can have a fantastic purpose, but you have to learn the process. You have to be able to be patient to learn the process. Now, Dave, this is very important. This is very important. Seeth a man, right? Diligent in his work. What is his work? His purpose, doing his stuff. What is he going to do?
Right.
He will not stand before mean people. Mean people mean average people, not even poor people, average. He's not going to stand before average people. He will stand before kings. He will stand before nobles. But let's take into consideration the concept in that quote. Diligence has to do with patience and endurance. Diligence has to do with patience and endurance. So are you patient enough to learn the process? You know, I love talking about volunteering because it's one of the process that will take you to greatness. Are you ready to learn other people? Are you ready to learn the process from those who have gone far and ahead of you? That is part of the process of getting to your vision, getting to that destination. See a man diligent. Diligence, that's patience and endurance in his work. What is his work? His purpose, doing what he's supposed to do. Okay, in his work. God loves work a lot. God is in love with work. He's a lover of work. He created the earth in 6 days and rested only once to show you that he loves work. When he created Adam, he gave him a job. He didn't give him a wife. He gave him a job. He said, Adam, oh yeah, name the animals. He began to name the animals. He named the fishes, the birds, everything. He gave him work. And when he saw that the work was enormous, he gave him a wife. He gave him a wife to help him. To help him do what? To help him continue the work, right? To continue the work. So work won't kill you. Okay, work will rather take you to places. I just said that, you know, to buttress this point, right? So if you're diligent in your work, if you're consistent, if you don't give up, if you keep pushing. Now remember, Dave, I remember this again. Come on now. When Nehemiah was building the wall, at a point, people were saying, this building will collapse. I mean, if an ox climbs on it, it's going to collapse. But what happened? In 52 days, the wall was built. The wall stood, right? Because they were consistent. I also read that the people who hadn't sons, they brought in their daughters. Their daughters were also building. They were holding spear by this hand and building with this hand. So if the enemies came, they will fight with this hand. And they were building with this hand. They were consistent. They were diligent in the work. And it progressed. And in 52 days, the wall was rebuilt. Come on. So you have to be consistent in whatever it is that you're doing. Your vision is fantastic. Come on, but it needs consistency. It needs you to keep pushing. You know, there's this common saying that says that Rome was not built in a day. Rome was not built in a day, but that's true. But ask yourself, am I consistent in laying the blocks every day? Am I consistent in laying the blocks every day? So you need to lay the blocks every day for your Rome to be built. I don't know what your Rome is. Your Rome might be to become the president, might be to own that big organization, to own that big development institution. I don't know what your Rome is, but you need to keep laying the blocks every day for you to build that your Rome. So consistency is there, all right? Consistency is there. Is a vital key, is a vital part of achieving your vision. Okay, so for those of you who are still undergraduates, you are still in the university, you want to develop a vision for your life. I know that your vision as a student is to be able to graduate with good grades, to be able to graduate with, you know, a flying colors. You want to be proud of your results. You want your results to be used as an example for everything. Now, let me give you a secret. Don't just aspire to be the best student in your department. Don't just aspire to have a first class or a second class upper. Aspire to be the best student your school has ever seen. Aspire to be the best student your department has ever had. That is the big picture. That is the big vision. Aspire to be the student your school has ever had, your department has ever had. Naturally, first class comes to people like that. I'm gonna say that again. Naturally, first class comes to people who wants to be the best student that their university has ever had or their department has ever had. Okay, so don't just aspire to have a first class or a 2-1. Aspire to be the best student your school has ever seen. Naturally, first class comes that way. Okay, so I'm going to just share little hacks that you can utilize. So usually I will share with undergraduates. Let's say you're studying pharmacy or medicine or biochemistry or microbiology. It's great, but you have to understand where you are. You have to understand that our curriculum is not really encouraging. So you have to make use of the lessons that are online. So go online and study courses that are related to your course of study. Okay, so during my time as an undergraduate, I studied social work, right? But I went online. I was studying social policy. I was studying community development. I was taking courses in climate actions, leadership and all of that. So it helped me to have a broader perspective, a broader view of the course I was studying, right? So you have to leverage the internet, the online space to be able to learn. It's part of the vision. It's part of who you are. Don't just be a medical doctor. What kind of medical doctor do you want to be? Come on now. We celebrate Ben Carson, not because there are no other neurosurgeons all over the world, but because he's spectacular, because he is unique. So you must be able to, carve a niche for yourself. You have to be able to create a picture for yourself. What kind of pharmacist do I want to be? I remember Yinka Olutoye, Dr. Olutoye, the one that actually performed a miracle. He removed the fetus, from a woman and operated on that fetus and put it back. And the fetus grew, and then he's currently based in the US. Ask yourself, what kind of doctor do I want to be? So it's very important you leverage the internet, and a whole lot of things have been made free and available. So Allison.com, Coursera.com, Udemy.com, learn digital with Google.com. These are fantastic platforms you can learn for free, okay? So now this is very important for undergraduates. That when you finish, you're going to be asked how your years of experience, how experienced are you, how many years have you been working. This is an avenue for you to increase your experience. So from year one, you already have a vision of where you're going to. Okay, so you begin to learn these skills, go out there, volunteer, build your experience, so that in 4 years you must have built 4 years experience. So you don't need to wait till you finish. Life after school, I don't buy that idea. Life should begin while in school. Life should begin while in school, so that when you're out, you are implementing. When you're out, you are acting already. Okay, this is very important. So let me quickly talk about the vision as a business person. You don't need to wait to have all the money in the world. You don't need to wait to have all the connection in the world. If you have this idea in your mind, please begin to implement. Please begin to implement. You can never see the end of a staircase without taking a single step. There's no way you can get to the top without starting. Success is like a ladder. You don't start from the top, you start from the bottom. Okay, so and like that you begin to climb. Once you have this idea and this idea is valuable, okay, you act upon it. It's when you're acting upon it, it becomes clearer, it becomes fine, it becomes better. Okay, so crude oil, crude oil pass through refining. It has to be refined to be able to get petrol, to be able to get diesel, kerosene, and all this fantastic stuff. So you need to start. When you start out, it's like refining your gifts, refining your ideas. All right. So don't wait till you have $1 million in the account, or you have the network of people you are in touch with. Bill Gates, you're in touch with Bezos, you're in touch with Zuckerberg, you're in touch with Larry Page and Sergey Brin, before you are able to do stuff. So begin to act. Nobody knew Mark Zuckerberg 30 years prior. Nobody knew him. Okay, we didn't know that he had 5 friends and he called them for a meeting to be able to establish Facebook. 3 of them said no. Okay, we didn't know all of this, but it was at the initial stage. They were working on this idea, and today we have Facebook, right? Today we have Google, but do you know that years back, you would submit an item on Google and it would take 30 days for Google to provide an answer. Today, it happens in split seconds. It happens in split seconds. So don't wait till this idea is great and big and fine before you launch out. If you have this idea, please launch out. Please launch out. There's somebody who is aspiring to be like you. Okay, somebody who's aspiring to be like you as you're aspiring to be like the other person. Somebody is looking at you. Where you are is someone else's prayer point. Somebody is praying to say, asking God, please, if you can take me to this level, I'm okay. While you are praying to say, God, take me to this, someone else is praying to be at that spot where you are. So why not send down the ladder so that that person can climb up? All right. So enlighten other people's candles, the light becomes bright and everywhere is enlightened. Okay, so you have to start out with your idea. So that fantastic vision, that big picture you're looking at has processes, and starting is one of the process. Okay, so the next thing to do is to make this idea legal. Protect this idea by registering your idea with the government of your country, the government of your state. In Nigeria, we have what is called the Corporate Affairs Commission. They take charge of registration of businesses. So you have to legalize this, your idea. If it's adding value to people's lives, it's time to take it to the next level, okay? Vision is a mental picture of the future you desire. So if you desire to partner with big organizations, big personalities, you have to follow the process. Registering it is another process, okay? Getting it legalized, all right? So that's the next step. Another thing is having a brand. A brand is an identity, something you are known for, okay? Just like we know MTN, anywhere we go to, we know MTN, right? If you just see that color, you know it. We know Glow, we know Airtel, we know Nine Mobile, we know Peak, we know Adidas, we know Nike, we know Gucci. These, you are able to identify them because they have a brand. They have something you can identify them with. So you can have your own brand, either as a product or as a person. You are a brand yourself. You're a brand, all right? The way you speak, the way you interact with people, it's your brand. It's part of your brand, all right? So another thing that is very important is to be able to discover your unique selling points. USP is called X Factor. What differentiates you from every other person in the world, okay? So you must be able to identify your X Factor. What distinguishes you from the rest? Ovaltine, Milo, Bonvita. They are all beverages, but they are different. They have different tastes and they have different customers, okay? So I used to say this, and this is very important. God is awesome. He's very special. God is fantastic. He put something in us and he created a market for it. So we can have 100 public speakers, but all of those 100 speakers have their own markets. They have their own markets. Okay, the way Chimamanda talks, It's different from the way Yemi Osinbajo talks. It's different from the way Fela Durotoye talks. It's different from the way David Akinwale talks. So, and all of these people have their markets, they have their customers, they have. So, don't ever think that, oh, everybody is doing it. Discover what makes you unique and different, okay? To be able to have a niche for yourself, right? So, I know my time is running, but let me quickly say this: the benefits of vision. Benefits of vision. You remember our topic: vision, a light to purpose, right? So, if
Yeah.
if right, yeah. So the benefits of vision. Vision is so important because it will help you do the following things. One, vision keeps you busy. Vision keeps you
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah.
Busy doing what? Busy gossiping? No. Busy playing around? No. Busy with your purpose. Busy with your work. Remember, a man who is diligent with his work, remember that? So, vision keeps you busy because you've created a mental picture of where you want to be in the future. You keep working every day,
Yeah.
every month, every year to get to that big picture. So, you're aspiring to be the president, and currently you are the local government chairman. That vision of becoming the president will keep you on your toes. You keep working. What are the courses I need to take to help me prepare for that vision? Who are the people I need to meet to help me to get to my vision? So it keeps you busy. It keeps you busy doing something productive, doing something that will push you to that your big picture. Vision is so important. So if you see yourself wasting time, you are supposed to be soaring, but you are with chickens cackling, looking for the next available worm, looking for the next available corn to eat. You are wasting time. You've not really, crafted a vision for yourself. Okay, so vision is so important because it keeps you busy. All right. Another point is that vision keeps you going and helps you to overcome obstacles. Obstacles will come, challenges will come, failures will stare at you at the face. Sometimes you will go broke. I mean, no single money in your pocket. But if your vision is alive, you will continue. All right. So remember when the wall was being rebuilt, people came and say, won't fox break down this building? A fox climb on it, wouldn't it fall down? Those were challenges. You know, your friends, your family members, they will fail to understand your vision. They will ask you, this thing you're doing, is it really making sense? How much are you earning? How much are you earning? Come on now. They are going to taunt you. Friends will desert you because it's not working. But if your vision is alive, give yourself some time. If your vision is alive, give yourself some time. You will be at the other end of the table. And then they're going to come around because, of course, success has many friends. All right. So, vision keeps you going and helps you to overcome obstacles. If your vision is powerful enough, it will help you. So, I believe that the ruler of Dubai saw where Dubai would be in 2020. He was in 1971, but he had seen 2020. He had seen that Dubai will have one of the largest hotels in the world. He had seen that Dubai will have one of the finest airports in the world. He was in 1971, but he had seen 2020. It was compelling. It was powerful. He knew how people will rush to Dubai. So the challenges of 1971 didn't keep him. It didn't stop him from putting in all the work, from putting in all the expertise, from putting in all the money to get Dubai where it is today. So the same thing applies to you. If your vision is powerful enough, if your vision is compelling, no matter what it takes, you will get there, right? If you remain consistent, you will overcome those obstacles, right? So remember Nelson Mandela? He was in prison for 27 years. His body was already deteriorating, but he saw the future. He saw that South Africa will be a place people want to come to. He won the liberation of South Africa, even when he was taunted, right? Even when he was discriminated, that didn't allow him to throw in the towel. The same thing with Martin Luther King, the same thing with Malcolm X, the same thing with Mahatma Gandhi. All of these guys, they saw the future. They saw the empowerment and the enjoyment that people will have. So the obstacles of that day, of that season, of that time didn't allow them to throw in the towel. So vision keeps you going and helps you to overcome obstacles. All right. So the next thing vision does for you, all right, vision distinguishes you from competition because you are the originator. So others will just copy. If you're visionary, it will help you to stay away from competition. You're not competing. Why are you competing? Because your vision is unique to you. That picture is only unique to you. No other person can have that picture like you. No, it's not possible. Not possible. Because you crafted it in your mind. They can be similar. They can be similar, but they can never be the same. Just like I mentioned, Ovaltine, Bonvita, Milo, Cowbell, they are all beverages, but they have different tastes. Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Fanta, all of these, they are soft drinks, but they have different tastes. So your picture is unique to you. If you're visionary, it will distinguish you from competition because you will be the originator. Okay? Others will just look at you and they will copy. All right, so that's what vision does for you. The final point is give back. Give back. Okay, give back. I don't know what you want to achieve, but I want people to look at me and say, because of you, I didn't give up. Because of you, I stayed true. I pursued my goals. Because of you, I had to bounce back again. I want to be an inspiration to millions of people. I want to give people access to good life, right? Quality life. That is what I want to achieve. That is the kind of legacy I want to build for myself. So no matter what your purpose is, no matter what your vision is, you have to craft a place where people can benefit, where people can get value from you. So I used to say also, if you have all the money in the world, let's assume you have all the money in the world, all the connection, all the academic qualification, what kind of person are you going to be? What kind of activities are you going to engage in? Where are we mostly going to find you? Remember that money is no longer your problem. Academics is no longer your problem. You have them all. Connection with people, no longer a problem. What kind of person are you going to be? Okay, so think about that. Give back, give back, give back. Send the ladder down for others to climb. That is the whole satisfaction. That's where the satisfaction lies. That's where the fulfillment and joy lies. Where people can benefit from your expertise, from your knowledge, from your wisdom. Okay, so that is that. And I just hope that you got value from what I've shared. So over to you, Dave. Over to you.
Okafor, we are super excited. He has something for us. I'm going to drop it in the comment under this video, my Facebook. So I'm going to get his book at the discount rate. So you can see today, I really gain a lot. I gain a lot. Value. It's powerful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And just find the
Thank you,
network
sir.
with people too. So that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's what we are the momentum to employ so that they can get value and become better. That's the meaning of this
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you once again
Yeah.
for coming on board. I'm super excited.
Thank you so
And
much.
I look forward to another time with you, sir. All right. You
Thank you
have
so
a
much.
great
Thank you so much. All right.
all right, sir. So thank you for joining us today on the episode of Becoming with David Akinwale. Until next time, my name